Kia ora, folks. So, welcome to my podcast. This is the first episode of hopefully many. We'll see how things go, though. Not promising anything. So, this is my podcast for Marty's cast, really. And it's somewhat based around my Facebook page, Tauranga Community. No. So there's no we about it. It's me and my cat, and that's fine. But anyway, I'm here by my little self, and I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown of what's been going on with me, and we'll see what happens. I've got some kind of commentary on some of the comments that have been left on some of the posts that I've put on my page, Tauranga Community, and just going to sort of talk about that as well as a few other things. And so far, the most recent one here was the photos from the top of the mount, because I went up the mount yesterday, and that was quite a bit of a feat, really. For me, I took the easy way up, but that's fine. I'm still got a lot to work on with my fitness and everything else. But someone was saying that they wish the rangers or whatever would trim the trees at the very top, because apparently it's a little bit difficult to get a good view from the top, which some would say not so much, because there's plenty of view from all over the top of it. Maybe they're a bit smaller than myself, maybe they're not, I don't know. But there is a big rock as well, if you've never been to the top of the mount. If you've never been to the top of Mowo, the mountain, Mount Maunganui, it's at the top. Sort of when you get up the last set of stairs, if you go that way or if you go the other way, there is a rock you can sort of stand on, and you can get a nice photo of Pilot Bay, the inner harbour, things like that. I'm sure you'll have seen, if you've either been to the top of the mountain, or if you've seen the photos on my page, you would have definitely seen some views from the top, and you can definitely see those. You can go to the other part anyway. So just having a look at the rest of some of the other things on the page. Just got to scroll down quite a reasonable bit. There were the awesome folks that have that I shouted out or shared their businesses and things, because I hit 12,000 follows, which is great. Thank you very much for that. That was brilliant. 12,000 follows is quite good, even with the fact that I've actually been running that page for like 12 years or so. Whatever, it's fine. It's done all organically. I'm not paying for posts. I'm not putting out ads and stuff like that saying please follow me. I'm just saying, hey, follow me. If you like pictures of the mount, if you like some funny things sometimes, if you like some sort of New Zealand related humour, then cool. That's cool. Follow me. That's all right. You don't have to. No one's telling you to do that. But no one's forcing you. But anyway, so with that, we'll just go through and have a quick look at all of the comments where people have the businesses that I shouted out. I'll shout them out all again here. There was Man with a Trailer, and he covers from, I think it's Katikati to Waihi, which is Western Bay of Plenty. There's Bilbo's Dog Paws Rescue, which is a local dog rescue and sort of rehab, sort of, well, somewhat, to get dogs back out to people who love beautiful pet dogs, and want to train them, or make sure they're doing they're being dogs. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, all I know is dogs are cute and little and good. Well, some of them are little, a lot of them are little, but some of them are not so little. I've met a few dogs in my time when I was a mall Santa, and we had a pet session where some people brought in a Great Dane and a Great Dane pup, and I straight up asked for, I mean, dressed as Santa obviously, I straight up asked the owners for a saddle. Because at the end of the day, that's how it is. These dogs are gigantic. Yeah, so we dutifully sat them down in front of us, and I held the dog's leash, or tried to pat their little heads while we got photos and stuff like that. And that was about that. It was good. But yeah, no, it was a good job to have. Sadly, it only goes for a month, but you get to do good things, spread the Christmas joy and rah. Anyway, so the other one was philosophy watercolorist. I haven't actually seen this one. And there's also locksmiths. There's also Connect Healing, which is a massage place. There's Grace and Grain Restorations, which another place I haven't actually seen. I'll have to go through and open these places, open these links, and get through and reshare them to the page, because yeah. But there was also Bliss Baskets and Gifts, which is they do sort of like baskets for what do you call it, birthdays or whatever, that kind of thing. Say if your friend's leaving work and you want to get them something a bit more special than just the average beer, and you can get something else. Yeah, cool. Also, there was a Penelope Chick in New Zealand, Penelope Carnaby, which does decoupage workshops in the Mount. And there's a One Lane Bridge, which does they run a little shop out in Tapuna, and that shop they sell just distinct homewares and things like that. There was also Kelly O'Hara Images. She's a photographer, local photographer, here in the Tauranga and Bay of Plenty, somewhat of the Waikato sort of region as well. It was Purely Pampered as well. It was also Island of Misfits community there for people with autism or ADHD, that kind of thing. So people somewhat like myself, I guess you could say. There was the Freeze Factory as well, the Purple Lab Freeze Factory, and you can check them out at freezefactory.com. That is PHREAZE factory.com. And they also have Freeze Factory custom prints, music wear, Pacifica Haven, and the Purple Lab as well. So you can get down to Historic Village, and if you don't like some of the prints there, you can get you one designed for yourself, and that's pretty cool. I think so. Anyway, it's good. So yeah, there's that's pretty much all of the organizations or companies, etc., that have showed up on that. There was also the King Missile gig on Saturday. I didn't get to it, unfortunately. Didn't have a whole world of money to spare, sadly. But you know, it is what it is. So the other week we had STEM Fest as well. This was on the 28th. This was not that long ago. Yep. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was good seeing the robotics that are being put together and being tested and being used for educational purposes as well. There was a lot of robotics with just some of them. I did question one person regarding one bit of the robotics, which was these ones that are quite tall, but they honestly just look like Roombas or iRobot type vacuums that don't have vacuum systems in them, obviously, but they do have all the sensors and all the motors that can drive around, and those systems kind of looked like they were just those robots with a 3D printed kind of body on top of it, making them say 3 or 4 foot tall, which kind of looked a little bit weird, to be frank. Really, it didn't seem like something I would want to deal with much. As far as robotics goes, it's just kind of Whereas they did actually have some other robots that could stand up and move, like a torso with limbs and that kind of thing. It could jump up and down, or it could wave its hands and things like that. Get down and do push-ups, or stand up and sit down, or sit down and stand back up. Things like that. I did also check out the where is it? Come on, mate. The new library build, which was quite big. It's a big building, and the whole complex itself is quite large, and they're really building what I would say is something worth looking into. As soon as it gets built, definitely, take your time to get down there into the free car parks on a Saturday in the parking building or on the street, and go and have a good look as soon as it's built and open. There's also a new centre there for a few other things that are being built as well. There's it's not so much a venue, but it's I think it's a convention type space, which will be pretty good. I've just got to go check something real quick. Hold on a second. Meow. This is my cat, everybody. This is Cuteness. You want me to let you go. Here you go, darling. She's a good little cat. She's about 12, 13 years old. About 12 years old. She's named Cuteness by my son, who, named her Cuteness when he was like 6 years old. So that is what it is. I'm not here to worry about what my son names his cat or whatever, It is what it is. Kids will be kids. And that's about it. That's cool. But anyway, folks. So, oh, I went to the wrong bit, didn't I? So, what I wanted to talk about was also what's been going on around Tauranga. There's been not really a whole lot going on. There's been some changes with some of the parking situations. Woohoo, parking! But yeah, no, it's almost as exciting as it sounds, really. But the parking situation has been up for debate somewhat in the Mount area. Council wants to change and I think possibly bringing paid parking in the Mount. I think possibly along the main street and also in the some of the side streets, you know, like Prince Ave and Victoria Street and stuff like that. And it hasn't really gone down very well. And that's fine, you know, that's just how it is. Ain't Kitty. My kitty. She comes back and she goes away and she comes back and she eats food and all the rest of that business. Just like a normal little cat does. Although she's not that little. But yeah. No, so I have just been out busking around Tauranga here and there where I can when the weather is not scary. I tried to, as you all would have seen on Saturday, I tried to go busking and I tried to tried to do my thing, and it wasn't the one because there was quite a lot of rain, and that rain kind of scared me off. So I didn't really want to get didn't really want to get wet and have my gear get wet and all the rest of that business. So I packed up and I left, and that's how it goes. So some people have been really enjoying the blossom season as well. The cherry blossoms have been out a lot, all over the place, which has been good. Through Otomotai and Cherrywood, and obviously in the Otomotai Gardens there, if you haven't seen that. And obviously there's also quite a good display in Greerton as well, and that gets quite good. But I do have to say one kind of quick thing about that, which is that that one thing I really like is the contrast. It actually is like the flowers look great, and that's cool, but at the same time I also kind of like the darkness of the craggy looking wood. You know, it's quite it's different, and so it kind of provides that contrast between the sort of pastel pink and the dark wood with its knobbly bits and all the rest of that. But yeah, no, so that's been that. It's good to see though, you know, the blossoms and all that business coming out. Same with my random sunflowers, which have been all I did was remove the sunflowers that were already growing in there, and and then I just left them for a little bit, and I was going to plant some other plants, and I was going to plant some tulips and a few other things. I think some pansies, and then I didn't get the chance to, and then I saw these. Well, I did get the chance to. I just got a little bit lazy, and so I didn't do that, and then all of a sudden I just watched the sunflowers come up, and that was cool. But this season I am going to be trying to get in some other flowers and get in some other plants. I've got a sort of one of those covered growing platform thingies. I can't remember what you call them, but yeah. So I scored that for free. Somebody wanted to get rid of it, and I went and squeezed it into my car. And and I went from there, and yeah, worked out well. The other thing was the dragon, the large metal. Well, it's not that big, but I suppose it's kind of big. But the large metal dragon that is, I think it's on. Well, it's on one of the streets anyway, but it's out on just on Pilot Bay there on the corner, and I was just kind of asking, where should the dragon go, and I did suggest maybe into the new library once it's built, whenever that is. But other people have said, they could, they could put it outside their house and gate par on the fence. I don't know about that, but yeah. Other people have said that apparently the owner didn't want it to go to Te Puna Quarry, which is kind of strange when you're more or less leaving it outside in the public areas, and and you're essentially donating it to council. It's really not up to the owner to have much of a say. But whatever, I do think maybe the Te Puna Quarry would be good. There's another dragon that's already there. That's kind of a slide as well, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it is a bit like that. But yeah, no. So that's what some folks have said about that. The other thing was parking as well. There was a thing about I posted about parking here at the Mount, and so at least they're a little bit closer to a decision about what happens there. Someone was saying, why aren't the tour buses and associated vehicles operating from inside the port, which seems kind of simple and logical to them at least, which is true. I think there aren't really a great deal of, from what I've seen anyway, there really aren't a great deal of other operating vehicles in at least berth 1 anyway. But yeah, you wouldn't really want to, say for example, have V8 trikes mixing in with 12-ton forklifts, or other vehicles that could be driving around. Some of the truck drivers, honestly, some of those guys, they show up to places they don't know where they're going. They really have no clue. But it is what it is, it's kind of, yeah. But yeah, no, there's some people were just plain old venting, really, worried about the city council taking more of their money and things like that, which is true. I mean, as ratepayers, we pay quite a fair amount of rates, and we get more services that are charged to us in return, which is kind of the opposite of why we pay rates. We pay rates in order to keep things going. We pay rates for roads to be built, for bus services to happen. We pay rates for the lights on the streets to come on, so we can see when we're driving, aside from our front headlights, obviously. Those of you that actually turn them on, yeah, folks, I'm talking to you guys. And there's many other reasons why we pay rates, whether it's playgrounds or libraries or just a nice park bench to sit on. We pay rates for those reasons as well. And it does make me question, hey, why are we having to pay for parking when it comes to parking in the CBD, or parking in anywhere else where there's required for payments, when really what I have thought would be a possible solution is, what if instead we tripled the rates on, say, for example, Bayfair and Tauranga Crossing and Bethlehem Shopping Centre and things like that, and made sure that those companies were paying a lot more for the pleasure of being able to serve the community so readily, These are gigantic multinational corporations that have huge parent companies coming in with just groups of chain stores. It's not just one chain store. It's not like just Glassons and or Hallensteins or Kmart, for example. These are massive companies that own Smiggle and JJ's and a bunch of other stuff, and then they come in with 5 different stores, and then they say this is what we're putting in here, and it's a lot more than what than what really is something that should be happening, when it could be a private small business retailer that who is possibly making their own clothing right here in Tauranga, and actually employing local people to screen print t-shirts or sew clothes together or whatever it is. I know a lot of clothes these days are made in small Asian countries by people that are paid extremely minute wages. And it's really disgraceful that that still happens, and yet people seem to think it's okay to just be like, sit on their hands and do nothing about it, which helps no one. But at the end of the day, it's my solution, my little idea of a possible solution is charge these gigantic multinational companies that are coming in and decentralizing our shopping district, and taking money from local manufacturers and local businesses that they really have no business doing that. And it's disgraceful, and we should expect better. But anyway, so there's a lot going on with that, and I mean, some people are just saying, the greedy tentacles of the city council are slithering over the bridge into Mount Maunganui, and maybe Papamoa is next. Who knows? But you never know what's happening next, really. We'll have to see. And all we can do is be vigilant, pay attention, and don't get too caught up in having to or wanting to provide or wanting to just be alive and existing in this little world, because there is so much going on, and there's so many more better things. You can definitely get out there and connect with nature and things like that. Whether it's a nice walk through Otani Wanuku or up Papamoa Hills, or a nice swim or a surf at the beach. Things like that. Those are all hugely beneficial for your brain, for your mind, for your body. Getting some exercise is extremely important. It's good for you. It feels good, and it's a good thing to do. What else is happening in this planet? Well, there's plenty of things happening in this planet. Let's have a look at Reddit, hey? Somebody is very sick of MAGA. They don't understand why they exist. Anyway, we'll have a look at some more things. What 2 things, not people, would you eliminate to improve the world? Let's see what people have to say about these 2 things that are not people that you would eliminate to improve the world. Somebody is saying greed and apathy, which aren't really concepts, although somebody thinks they are concepts. They are actually things. They are things. Somebody was saying child sexual abuse and wealth gaps. Definitely say that would be a huge thing to most certainly get rid of in this world. Somebody was saying flies and mosquitoes. No, but I mean it's nice, but at the same time, bugs have their uses. Whether it's I don't know, spiders or flies or cockroaches or weta or whatever it is, all these things, they have their place. Another person was saying hatred and ignorance. Yep. Yeah, hatred and ignorance would be good to get rid of. But at the same time, like, having everyone not ignorant would be quite interesting. To say the least, I think so anyway. Oh, here's an interesting question. Can a gym legally exclude gang members? There's a clause in the gang insignia laws that allows gang tattoos. It seems that they can still take over a gym or any other public space. It seems it's the same with the law about groups in public spaces. It seems to me any business is pretty much screwed if a gang member decided to take it over non-violently. Apparently, though, they can be trespassed legally even if it's because they have gang tattoos and are hence gang affiliated. You can just say, we don't want gang members or affiliates here. You appear to be one and are banned. So why does my local city fitness gym let a bunch of people into the place every day for the past month? That is, I must say, that is heavily censored. Well, not heavily censored, but yes. And I also took out some of the descriptions as I read that. So somebody was saying that is they are allowed in there because they pay. Yeah, I would say, it is. It is because they pay. Somebody doesn't like. Somebody doesn't like the fact that they may wreck everything which they. No, okay, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, so whatever. I don't know. I'm not really worried. I just kind of. Gangs are gangs, and I just kind of shut my face. I've known a couple of people who've been in gangs over the years, and I've met a few of the sort of heads of some gangs in different towns I've lived in. I lived in Auckland for 8 years when I was a teenager, growing up there. Went to high school and a couple of places there. Didn't really meet any gang members there. Did meet some people that thought they were gang members, and yeah, that was about it. And then, getting older and older, I just kind of, there was some other places where I lived in Invercargill for 4 years. I met one of the heads of I think it was the mongrel mob, I'm not even sure really. But yeah, when I was a little kid, my father used to bring over some of the people from a gang. I'm not even sure which gang, but it was not the one really to do. But they would go into the shed and jam some tunes, whether it was playing reggae or whatever it was, at the time. I think everyone wanted to be in herbs, and that didn't really happen. But it is what it is. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, oh golly. So, yeah. No, and then even more recently, in more recent years, I did work for a local person who is the head of a certain chapter. I shall not name names at all, but he's a reasonable guy, decent human. Gave me the time of day. I wasn't complaining. We do what we can do. But yeah, it was okay. It wasn't scary or whatever. But yeah, no. So here's an interesting Here's an interesting question. What's a harsh truth about life that most people aren't ready to hear? And apparently, most people in positions of power or authority have a personal agenda, and helping you and making you better isn't part of it. That's quite true. That's quite true. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah. Life's not fair at all. Life isn't fair generally whatsoever. But what you can do, I found, if you find life isn't fair, what you can do is try and maintain as much control over your own life as you possibly can. Whether that is creating content, such as I'm doing right here, whether that is employing yourself or trying to maintain a very good job and trying to back yourself in every possible way, then yes, I would certainly say that you do need to be able to do that as much as you can. Right now, I'm kind of trying to apply for as many jobs as I possibly can. I've already applied for, I think, 8 in the last 24 hours, which is okay, but we'll see what happens. But I'm not going to rely on that and then not apply, later on or tomorrow or the next day. I'm going to carry on applying. I'm going to try and find whatever other jobs I can. There's, minimal jobs out there, but it doesn't mean that I can't try and apply for them or whatever, There is only so much you can do before you are employed or before you collapse, whichever comes first. But at the end of the day, what you can do to help yourself is try to do as much as you can, and that's about it. And for example, tomorrow, hopefully it's a sunny day, and I'll be able to get out and busk, and I'm hoping that will be, that'll be a great possibility for myself, because I'm not doing too well financially, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying, and so I will try and busk, and I also will create more content, whether that's for my Facebook page, which sort of kind of flows off naturally for me these days. More than anything, it's easy, really easy for me, I've found, to just be able to show up to a spot or go someplace. Say, for example, where I'm living now is right around the corner from the beach, so I can get up and, say, for example, go film or take photos or both of a sunrise, and get a nice image of a sunrise, which reminds me, I forgot to get a picture of the full moon rising, which was a supermoon, which is good, because that's the thing, is one thing I've found is, supermarkets, they don't have capes and they can't fly. So why are they called supermarkets? Just like Superman can fly. The supermoon, that does fly too. It even goes woo, in the sky, which is really cool. But it doesn't have a cape, which is kind of weird. So, should we maybe try and get a cape for the moon? So when it's a supermoon, it's like woo through the air with its little cape flying behind it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe. There's also, if you think that's a stupid idea, then that's great. I don't care. But at the end of the day, I'm full of them. I'm good for thinking stupid thoughts. That's one thing I'm good for. I know that for a fact. I like to do, I like to come up with novel ideas, what I would call novel ideas. A novel idea for me is, the great garbage patch that they have. I think it's in the Pacific Ocean, but It might be in the Atlantic Ocean anyway as well. There might be two, I don't know. But one thing I figured is what we need to do is just get two ships and a big net and get the Great Garbage Patch and just push the Great Garbage Patch all the way down the west coast of South America, and then around through the Drake Passage and back up and into the Bermuda Triangle, and then because everything that goes into the Bermuda Triangle disappears. So we can just have these two drone ships with this giant net, and it can just push the Great Garbage Patch into the Bermuda Triangle, and then the ships disappear, the net disappears, and so does the Great Garbage Patch. Problem solved, you know? Hey, you never know. There's probably other things that could definitely do with disappearing on this planet right now, hey? That's right, yes, there's plenty of them. Yeah, so what else is going on? Folks, I'm not even sure. Hey? Alright, well, I'm going to try and find some events. Are there events? Events. Yes, fun things to do. Gosh. I'm going to tell you what's coming up. There is the stand-up comedy open mic night at Brewco on the 16th of October, which is next week. On the 15th at the Hop House, there is the Shining Peak Brewery, and you can meet the brewers of Shining Peak, and you can go to the Hop House to do that. There's also the Mount Social Club stand-up comedy night there on the 24th of October. There is also next March, the Friday the 13th. Ooh, there's the Datsons. They're playing at Totara Street, which is super awesome. Let's find another one that's actually in Tauranga. Is there one? Let's have a look. There's the Tauranga Harbour Jam on the 29th and 30th of next month at Coolum Park. And also, yeah, there's a few other things. Oh, this Saturday, there's the Wharf Street Oktoberfest at the Barrel Room. All right. There's also Latch and Friends. There's stand-up comedy night at 16th Ave Theatre. There's Halloween Dean at the Jam Factory on the 1st of November. Ooh, that's at the Jam Factory in the Historic Village. There's also another stand-up comedy night, and oh no, that's in Hams. That's in Hamilton. We're not talking about Hamilton. Oh, this Friday there is also the night market at the racecourse, that little park by the racecourse there. You just drive on in, and there's right there, and it's not even there. It's right there. It's cool as. And yeah, you can buy your little. You can buy some candles, or you can buy some pens, or you can buy some food, or whatever it is. You know, trifles or stuff like that. Yeah. This Friday, Voodoo Lounge is closing, which is unfortunate. It's they're closing. I'm not sure why. It's sad, but you know, these things, they happen. Venues and restaurants. One thing I've noticed a lot about that kind of thing, you know, hospitality specifically, is venues and restaurants. They come and go quite fast. You know, a lot of businesses do stick around for quite some time, but when it comes to restaurants and venues, cafes even, they don't really last that long. It's quite unfortunate, and I think in some ways the smaller it is, you know, the smaller that kind of business is, the better and more long lasting it can be. In saying that, though, you can really have some places, and there's probably at least a fair few around the Mount, and I know that have lasted in Hamilton, places like Tuatara and Hamilton, and they've been around longer than I lived in Hamilton, and then well after, you know, I think they're still around there on Victoria Street near the Lone Star. Or where the Lone Star was anyway. That was the Lone Star I used to work at, was the one on Victoria Street in Hamilton. That was a long time ago. A long time ago. But anyway, let's go and have a look at exactly what else there is. There is the Spring Towards Christmas plant sale at Te Puna Quarry Road. Yeah. So that sounds pretty good. There's a night at the ranch. I think it's let's see, it might be, I see, yeah, so it's bull riding, line dancing, and country music, live country music. Yes, cool as. Anyway, what else is there as far as events that are coming up going? There's the Show Me Your Shorts short film festival, which is coming up on the 11th of this month. I think it's this Saturday at the Village Cinema 17th Ave in Historic Village. You can get down there and watch some short films. There's some short films that are by a lot of different people. All up, I think it's 90 minutes of films, 97 minutes of films. But of course, it's, you know, you want to hang out there for a little bit. It's pretty good, you know, and it's a nice place to kind of be, you know, in that little venue. There's some different, there's it was a reasonable amount of different kinds of films that are being put on there for the short films, and yeah, it's rated M for all of it, so yeah, potential offensive language and violence. Tickets are $15, which is cool. Yeah, good, interesting night of film. I know not everyone's into that kind of film, but I mean, I'm the kind of guy that goes to, you know, French films by himself that are about vampires. You know, that's kind of me, because it sounds interesting. Not because I'm trying to be weird, or, you know, I should wear eyeliner and pretend I'm goth. No, it's actually not about that at all. It's actually just because I just like these interesting things, and I think it's interesting. It's different. It's not the usual jaunt of humanity. Yeah. There is, what else is there? There's the Christmas shopping showcase at La Belle Maison. That is Selwyn Street, 15 Selwyn Street. That's in the CBD there. Yeah. So that's that'll be interesting to get to. It's a Christmas shopping sort of thing. But yeah. And there's a few other different events that are going to be coming up, I'm sure, as well. But anyway, if you want to join me next time for this here podcast, the Marty cast, you can get in contact. Just I'll post the link to the page, to my main page, and you can, if you want to join me and maybe talk some nonsense, or tell some stories, or just promote your business or your whatever it is, whether you're a guitar teacher or whether you're whatever you're doing. You know, you could be a professional cat tamer, or you might be something else. I don't know. But if you want to, you can join me, and I'll sort out a way to make sure that can happen. And we can get it all recordized and figure it all out and go from there. And that's about that. But yeah, so I guess I can leave you with a bit of a story, I guess. So the other week I've seen. I have a guy, sometimes he shows up when I'm busking, and he's got some sort of special needs, I guess you could say. He's a good guy. He likes to hear me play a song called Shotgun by George Ezra. And every time I see him, they do ask if his carers and do ask if I can play Budapest by George Ezra, which I haven't learned yet. I do need to learn it. Yes, you're absolutely right. I should learn the song. It's a good song. It's a nice song. It's a nice song. It's George Ezra. He's a pleasant chap. And there's always, sort of not so much a riff, but a kind of a rhythm sort of to it, which is cool. I think that's kind of a nice line to go down. But he thoroughly enjoyed me playing Shotgun for him while I was busking. I like to play that song, especially when I'm when I'm in the mount, and because it references, I'll be on a mountain, and obviously there's a mountain right there, and the sort of in the background of or the area at least, which is a nice thing to be able to reference right there. And I do enjoy going up that mountain as well. It's especially at the moment. Yesterday when I went up and came back down, I was very pleasantly inundated by so many sounds and views of incredible tuis who were flying about and landing on different pungas and ferns and other trees, which were just incredible to see, and it was thoroughly enjoyable. I did absolutely enjoy seeing them and their beautiful colours, the coats sort of their feathers and the tuft under their on their neck. It just never gets boring, never really gets boring. It's always good to see. But yeah. No, so I think I'm going to leave it there. I want to say thank you all very much for watching. Please, share, like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is. And I'm going to sort out some other things to ensure I have ways of gaining both momentum and some sort of money to do this as well. So when it comes time to pay bills, I'm not just sitting there going, well, I can play guitar on the street. Yeah, because that's not good. But yeah, no, seriously though, if you do need someone who can drive a forklift or whatever else, then get at me. You want somebody who can, I don't know, pack stuff or lift stuff or fix stuff. I can weld, I can cook, I can drive a forklift. Have you got $1,000 so I can get some gear? Or no. Have you got $3,000 so I can get some gear so I can start welding outside my flat? That would be super good, because I need to do something to earn some money as soon as possible. Because I've got bills to pay, and that doesn't just happen on its own. And playing guitar on the street might be okay. It hurts the daylights out of my hands, and it makes my voice go even worse than it already has and already does. Anyway, folks, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I'm very happy that I could get this done and try and make this all happen. Anyway, Thanks for watching.